Padres fans, we got a couple of last bombshells coming out about Mike Shildt's career. We got to talk about AJ Preller's post-managerial press conference and just continue to do the head-spinning thing that is the Padres offseason right now. What's happening, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Padres Digest, the show that is genuinely wondering, do you guys pen out death threats to these people? Do you think that your threats to Mike Shildt do anything constructive? Like, I've read some of the YouTube comments that are negative towards myself and Andrew, and so, like, I can believe these stories, but it's just kind of like, come on, man, what are you doing? All right, as always, if you want to leave a death threat or any other comments, drop them below. If you want to hit subscribe, that would also be appreciated, but I do what you want to on there. Serious note, though. AJ Preller gave a press conference yesterday. It lasted about 35, 40 minutes. I'm going to give you the 8.5-minute distilled summary of what he said and my commentary on all of it, because a lot of it was word salad that did not mean much of, if anything. We can start right there. We will go down this. So as we're doing these topics line by line, let's comment on them. Let me know what you think. The first question, and a lot of the initial questions, were about, hey, how did you find out about AJ or Mike Shildt and this and that and the other? And a lot of that is Kevin Acee and those guys going for quotes in print and stuff. And so the first one that was, I think, of any takeaway was the dialogue on what are you looking for in the next manager. And oh man, this is the first instance of absolute word soup of just like, oh, we're looking for someone that agrees with the vision. Oh, we're looking for someone who's good at baseball, like stuff like that. The descriptions were pretty negative or pretty minimal. My apologies there for jumping to the Ethan Salas quote. I was trying to look for manager SOT number 2. This one was also kind of interesting. That they knew during the season about the threats being issued toward Mike Shildt, which, again, just a absolute bummer that you guys would go to that length. But here was the second. This is what I was trying to get to instead of Ethan Salas. He was asked about internal managerial candidates, and little bit less word soupy of saying something. He did not. I expected this to be the generic, like, we're going to look at everybody. We got some exciting people here that we really like. But I got a little bit more of a sense that from his response here, that there is a little bit of a truth maybe to some of the narratives of Mike Shildt running the ship in a certain kind of way that maybe was getting under some people's skin. I'm not trying to breathe too much life into that, but his response here was he talked about the clubhouse and he talked about the respect and like of the players, and he did not name anybody, but it gave me an inkling to believe that there is somebody internally circled that at the very least AJ and ownership go, hey, that guy would not be a hard transition to sell the players on. You can try your best to look back on every comment ever made in a different lens and be like, oh, Manny was leaning back against the locker room last game of the season being like, oh, whatever, man, like, yeah, like making his comments because he was not invested with Shildt running a lot. Sure, maybe, but also you can just say that there could just be a guy in that locker room people just genuinely like, and it doesn't have anything to do with the adversarial nature of that. I said in a previous video, and this is why I say subscribe, so I don't have to rehash these other videos. I can just say go watch it. But I gave the long-winded, weaving way of saying I think Ruben Yabel, the current pitching coach, is the solution there. But I digress. So that was the managerial part of it, and it did not lead me to believe that there is any candidate who already is in the lead, or if they're gonna this is not a Rooney situation where they're gonna go through some ceremonial ones just to get to their guy. I genuinely don't think the Padres have like a dude that they're like lobbying for. I think they have a lot of great options out there. Again, go watch the other full video or drop a comment on who you think could or should or would be one of the next managers. But I will say this. If there is a narrative coming out there about finishing second in the NL West receives death threats, I would be curious how many people are going to, at least take a beat before committing to that job. I don't know. Let me know if you think that. Drop a comment. Let me know if you think that that's going to affect it. Write something compassionate and nice. If you don't think that's going to affect it, just threaten me. I'll give you the Mike Gundy. I'm a man. I'm 40. Come after me. I'm not 40 yet. Turning 35 this week. Can't tell though. Sorry. My mortality's facing me. I digress. My mortality is facing me while I'm being a Padres fan. It is a tough life, baby. All right, let's move on to some of the other stuff because I'm now getting lost in the weeds here. But this one kind of got interesting to me. Mason Miller got brought up about what is the plan for Mason Miller. He'll remain in the bullpen, and what is the expectation for Yu Darvish? We will start with We'll start last thing first thing last. We'll start with Yu Darvish. The answer that AJ Preller gave was that he expects Yu Darvish to be a part of the team going forward, and I think that might have been left intentionally blank because I get the sense that maybe if Yu steps away from playing, that the Padres would immediately offer him front office-y, position-y, ambassador-y type vibes. I get the sense that Yu has been very good with international recruiting for the Padres. I think the Padres have treated Yu Darvish well. I know that Yu Darvish has several other teams who probably, if Yu retires, they will be like saying, hey, we want to get some of that action right now in terms of getting Yu jersey retired, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I get the sense that the Padres want Yu to be around next year. He also, though, he made note that Yu was not healthy ever, and that he was not right going into spring training, and he was not right going into the season. And I heard that, and maybe that is AJ just generalizing, but I heard that as like Yu did not show up to training camp or to spring training at like perfect 100%. And that could genuinely just be he is old, he's not on the TV-12, his head is not growing, so he's aging at a natural rate. And okay. But he also said it in a way that made me think that at the very least, the first initial plan for Yu Darvish is going to be to have him pitch next year. Now, whether that's working out in the off season, saying, hey, Yu, we'll give you a chance, but we need to see some progression here in terms of your health and sustainability, or we're going to have an uncomfortable conversation. Or if we're going to just let him do him, and then middle of the season when the wheels do finally freaking blow off, we'll let him retire. I don't know if it's that level, but I got the sense that the first vibe is going to be Yu is going to try and pitch next year. To the Mason Miller thing, there was some dancing around it, which I think if I'm just being the dude here who's on YouTube that no, I know nothing. We're just talking baseball and all that. I think that the Mason Miller thing leans towards, even if it's 51-49 or if it's 60-40, it leans towards him staying in the bullpen. I think AJ Preller, also in getting asked about Adrian Morejon, another one came up where it's like the people were asking, hey, do you want to move? Adrian Morejon did great. Mason Miller did great. Let's move all these guys to the starting rotation. And I got the sense from AJ's general answers to both of these questions, kind of rolling it into one, that right now the plan is to leave them in the bullpen. My sense being, though, that maybe these guys are getting less of a fixed treatment of like, Mason's got the 8th. Adrian's got the 9th. These are our, these are Gregerson, Bell, Adams. These are Maselli, Wall, Hoffman. These are, instead of it being a fixed, this is how we deal with the traditional thought of a 7th, 8th, 9th. I think that we might be talking about them now being high leverage guys. We might talk about them being 2-inning guys. We might the 5-out guys. And this is, I got the sense that maybe they were just being prepped for a new kind of vibe of baseball where analytics are telling you like, no, in actuality, these are the most important outs. These 6 guys, getting through the heart of the order is the most important. And if the heart of the order comes up in the second out, in the second half of the 6th inning, you put Adrian Morejon in there to shut it down, nip it in the bud, and then let your other guys. So I think that my interpretation of all of this, if I'm being the Padre oracle to you guys, or just at least a sounding board, I got the sense from all of his answers that Mason Miller and Adrian Morejon are going to be our bullpen guys next year. I think maybe a part of Michael King's health is that. I think also maybe a part of just the general concept of high leverage innings is it gets you tingly of like, oh, we have a chance to win. It really matters. Because sometimes, like we saw with this bozo right here, he'd have a good start, but they wouldn't score. We saw that with would running 6 innings of Mason Miller with 1 run support be great, or every second or third day he comes out there for 3 innings of. I like the high leverage later innings, but multiple innings versions of that. So that's what I kind of got away, or what I took away from the pitching side of it, is that I get the sense that right now there is no direct, boom, we're moving Mason Miller into the starting rotation. I think if that was the plan, there's no reason to hide that. I think you'd want to sell people. And maybe I could be entirely wrong, but I would think you'd want to be like, Mason Miller is going to be our ace. I love this kid. Let's put his face on the franchise. Let's sell the tickets. Let's do the bobblehead. I don't think that that's the plan. He might in the end make the transition to starting pitcher, but right now I did not get that sense. I already showed you the graphic because I am a mid-tier YouTube host at best, but we'll finally talk about it now. Talk about Ethan Salas. Now, I did a video earlier this week where some of you disagreed with me because I said that this is a bad situation, that Ethan Salas is now missing the Arizona Fall League and will be out 10+ months with a back injury that was listed as a 2-month delay. If you guys, as always, I apologize for everyone reading this on the phone. Ethan Salas is doing well, according to Preller, and beginning baseball activities. He did not suffer a setback, according to AJ, but this is all about the next 10 years with such a young player. They're taking cues from the doctors on how to handle Salas, and he should be ready for spring training. How can you not see between the lines there? AJ Preller has never been about the next 10 years with a guy. What prospect do we have that we brought up that AJ was like, oh yeah, hey Leo, we're going to develop you into the best shortstop in baseball. No, we're shipping you to Oakland. Hey, this guy, hey, that guy, hey. I don't honestly believe that AJ believes in 10 years. I think that AJ believes in that wanting to sell that this guy is entirely healthy and ready to go at all of that because he's a 21-year-old catching prospect that he can trade for a Mason Miller or something like that. But I saying he should be ready for spring training. 10 years. I don't know, man. I got very coded language about this, and maybe I just am completely wrong. I've said that a lot this podcast. This is all speculative stuff more than actual technical information. But the Ethan Salas thing, it's not sitting right with me that this, if he was our number 7 prospect, I'd be like, okay, cool, great. But as our number 1 prospect and allegedly the piece that's either gonna be our decades, or maybe if AJ really believed that he was a 10-year catching prospect, he's either a great trade piece or the foundational fix for our franchise. Either way, I feel like if he is that height if he's that level of a talent, it's worth picking apart a lot of the language. So I'm worried about that. All right. This is way longer than I promised the video would be. I'm not good at talking long. Andrew's that guy. So let me know what you think about all this stuff. That was AJ's press conference in a nutshell. Thank you very much for sticking with us, Padres fans. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a comment. We'll talk to you soon.